Hey, and welcome to this new live stream today, where we are going to have a special session with Olabode, where will go through us with us through Biodrop repository and how we could contribute there through one of the issues that he is working on. That issue will be specifically that he was working on it and had an issue with that, which he couldn't work with the emojis, which we will check today. That we could get some kind of knowledge transferred from open source triple that will help with this issue. Till that time, we will get to the usual stream that we are having, which we will check the open source API, open source AI uh, Chrome extension, and develop stuff there. So before starting, I just need to send this message. Okay. Um, so let's start what we are doing right now. So we want to go to the Chrome extension that's been done by open source. With this extension, we will check the latest stuff that we have done. I think we get some review, not here. So one of the things that we have reviewed this yesterday, which is like, okay, we have approved that. I think we will go to the app and check the latest PR that we have made recently and see that someone has required some changes to be done here. So if you remember this, we have worked on it like few days ago at the beginning of this week, where we have implemented the creating a new highlight in open source app, and we will have to do some kind of improvement here, which we could see hmm, that we had here like a loop. Let me just like increase this. We had a loop here that's checking the key values for the stuff that we are doing, but like Nick just suggested us that we could use the toString, which could yeah, that will save us from some code, so we could just like go with this. And after that, so we resolve this, and then we could check the other thing that he mentioned here. So here he mentioned that we could use, instead of using new search params, we could use the user router hook, and that hook doesn't need to be in the use effect. So we could just like remove this line. Why I didn't use this one before? So let's check the documentation to see how this works. Uh, so the example that the hook will just like work and update itself without having it inside a use effect. So it will work always. Mm, so we could go as they are suggesting. so no need to have it in use effect, and we could just remove that here. To do this, they provided a code, which is like will make stuff easier for us. By the way, just if you are first time or if you are watching us right now, just let me know where you are watching from and your favorite food. Hmm. Okay, to go with this, let's just like go with the Open Visual Studio Code, go up here, get this PR. I think we have it already, but like, yeah. Are we here? We are in the app repo right now. We need to just go and check out our branch. We couldn't resolve that. Let's see. What changes do we have here? I think this, no, we are not, wait. We are not in the app repo, we are in the AI repo. So we just like go to insights. We will not save this. And here we could check out our branch. So for those who are joining, for the today we will have Olabode in 30 minutes till we have him. We will just like go through the usual open source contribution, which is like how I go and contribute to open source in public and show the updates that we are having here. So here we are in the add forums, yeah. So let's get back to Visual to the Chrome and here see the update that Nikki suggested is to change the query param and make it use hmm. Here we have the query params. He suggested to delete these lines and instead of that just use the router hook with the PR URL. So by having this, we need to import router. We could remove this one here so we are not using it anymore. And right now they are we don't need this as well. Why we didn't need to have this inside? Because like when this is getting updated, this will automatically getting updated, I think. Let's just like check the function here again to the documentation and see how it works. So here they are saying uh, here's where check that the router and it's checking if it's loading it, which is like from the user, and we are updating the router here. But like, are they getting any query from this? It will be empty if it's not using anything. And here, as you can see, that's updating this. So I think this is like being updated every time something changed in the, yeah, every time something changed in the URL. So right now we just like get this, update that, yeah. So we just like run the format to check that we are having nothing broken in terms of format or the linting of the file. These are from other part of the code that I think we could just like have. Hmm, we could just like open an issue for this stuff right now so that some other people will know about it. But other than that, we could just like run the development of this project and go with that to see if it's working or not. If not, we could just like need to recheck the documentation of the user routers, so we could do that. So this will work with feed new PR URL. Okay. So while we are waiting for this to load, we could just like go, where is it? Get back to this GitHub repo and open the issue for the lint and check if there is no other one that has written this issue before. So for example, let's go with this error and see if, yeah, there is no issue for that. Let's just go with, it's not a bug, but like, yeah, the lint. Here what we could do is just like get this warnings and copy paste them. We will just like write a message for the contributors to understand that. And then we just like go to the other parts of the report and see what they are asking. So they are asking to reproduce how to reproduce that. So we could just like say you need to clone the repo and run npm run format. Then you will see the warnings. Not sure if they would like to. Let me see. Not sure if this like could be a great issue to have or someone would like to work on it, but we'll just like open that and we will see the contributors and maintainers how they would react on this later. So right now we are just waiting this to run. So yeah, did it work as I expected that? It just like opened this, didn't paste the URL, which is kind of hmm. We just like have a debugger here. Inspect this page. Have the inspector on the right side, and then refresh it. So we could see the result that we are having. Like we could get into the debugger that we have. So while we are waiting right now, we could just refresh this and see the result of that. Hmm. While we are waiting, we could just like get benefit from our time and check the behavior here if they are. Uh, we could see how does this work, or we could just like see the router. It worked, and let's see the PR URL here. The query. Why it's not coming to me? It just refreshed by itself. We just like wait it again. Okay, so while we are waiting for this, let's just like get back to this one. Here they are telling us how to access to this router object. User router is a hook. Okay, and here they are telling us if it's the definition that we are getting from it, which is like we have used the query one. Hey, thank you, Eddie. We are waiting right now. Olabode, he will be here in 5 or 6 minutes, hopefully, and we will go with him and check that biodrop repo at that time. But like right now, we are just having checking this issue. That we have a refactor review from Nick Tyler, and would love to see how we could do that here. And hey, web developer, walaikum salam. Mm, I don't need this one. Here we have our, okay, so the router didn't get like the query that we have yet, which is like it should be new and true. And when we go for the second time, it's again it's empty. For the third time, it's empty. We could just like go here. It's empty again. When does this work and get the query? Let's just remove this and see. I don't think that it will go to this. Yeah, I just like got it. And we have it right now, but yeah, so the issue is that this is working, but uh, let's just and run everything. I'm just like disabling the query and checking this. I think this is working, but like the issue is like this is working before getting or clicking on this button here or this like input area, which will have our input where we are going to have the URL. So we are just like being a bit faster than the expected behavior. And to solve that, I think we could just like get back to having this PR URL inside the original area, which it was inside the use effect. And this is checking the target repo search. Did I delete anything else here? No. Router.query. What is this? Do we have this API here? Okay. And search. We are getting this updated when we then why did we have that query inside the use effect? Like it was inside the use effect previously, and right now we just removed it from there, but like it would be great to know why we had it there. And yeah, here we have Olabode. Hey, hey.
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you for sure. I don't know what I sound like. Do I sound like as clear as you would want?
Yeah, it's clear. I hope that we
Okay.
don't have an internet issue today.
We don't have what?
And an internet issue like the
Internet
last
issue.
three. Yeah, like the last time. We don't have like any
Oh
glitch.
god.
Yeah, like the space time.
Really want to attribute that glitch to Twitter, not or X, not necessarily ourselves, right?
Yeah, so it's it's
But
an X.
anyway,
It's
so
not here.
I've been
Yeah.
actually watching. Exactly. I've been watching the stream for like 5 minutes. I was just trying to, like set up the environment for the thing that you're gonna help me with.
Yeah, sure.
And I haven't seen any glitch, so no glitch will occur at this time. Don't worry, we got
That's
this.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Even if you had that, it's okay.
All right, great stuff, great stuff.
Sure. So let me just like I will disable my screen and first, would you like to go just like with a quick uh, introduction about yourself and then we could just like go with like, do you prefer to go with me showing you how we did that in open source, then we could like apply it to biodrop, or do you prefer to show me what where you are applying it in biodrop, then I could show you it in open source?
Okay, great stuff. I guess I should just start with introducing myself, right?
Yeah, and then I will
Okay,
ask you.
so
Okay.
God, okay. I don't know. Maybe you haven't asked that yet, but the thing is, maybe you can just I can just like show you my issue again because it's like the main thing,
Yeah,
right? And then you can sort of like pop up the same ones that you sort of like showed that you did in on open source. Then we can just like apply it and everything.
yeah, sure,
So
that would be
I'll
great.
just keep calm
Yeah,
and let
awesome.
you lead.
Then, sure, if you would like to
Okay.
go with introduction about yourself and how you get like into like biodrop and open source.
Okay, great stuff. Um, so how are there, guys? What is going on? Hello there, Rahman, Abdul Rahman Raja.
Abdurrahman,
I
yeah,
don't know. I just kind of like always. I don't know which one to call, but I like Rajab, so I'll call that.
it's
So
fine.
what's up?
I
What's
usually
up?
go
My
with
name
Abdurrahman,
is
yeah.
Olabode Shidabe. I'm an open sourcer. I'm an open On open source, so that's what open source just became like my favorite thing to do since a few months now. June was the time when I kind of like got exposed to open source, and I kind of like got exposed to the first project that I got exposed to that I started working with is the open source project, and that's where I kind of like met Rajab, and he was one of those people who made open source contribution very very enticing, very easy for me because he himself and the community at open source they were kind of like how would I call it? They were kind of like welcoming. Yes, and that's the thing. Fast forward June, I've been doing open source up until now. I've actually reaped my LO world of open source benefits, my LO world of open source reward, working on now, which is obviously also going to be for the open source community generally. So it's something I'm excited about. And fast forward, my own contribution to open source, I've just been kind of like stalked, contributing to them like diversifying my contributions. That's the reason why I sort of like looked for another repository that resonates with my values, and I found Biodrop because they have a great community. They implement a certain technology that I really love and would really always want to learn about. And their project is also something I've seen other people use, and I've also used it. And come on, it just resonates with me. So that's where I kind of like got into contributing to BioDrop, and I've contributed. I finished a one pull request, and this is like my second contribution that I should make. And I'm a very stubborn person, I would assume myself. The first pull request, I kind of like fixed that I kind of like patched. It spanned like 2 or 3 months working on the big issue till we
Yeah,
were kind of like able to just conclude it. And this is the next big issue that I'm working on. I've been on it for weeks again.
yeah.
So got a blocker, and that's what
Mhm.
Roman here is here to help me, like fix to help me unblock because they've implemented something similar to it on the open source project. I guess he was the one who worked on it too. So we're here.
Yeah, thank you for
That's
that,
it.
and
That
thank you
was
for
a
the
very,
introduction. Yeah.
very long intro.
Yeah, this is awesome introduction. And by the way, like the maintainer of Biodrop, he is like watching today, watching us today, and he just like mentioned that your pull requests are
Okay.
amazing and super difficult. He thanked you. So his name Adu Eddie Jowdi. So he's with us
Eddie,
today. So yeah.
yeah. Thank you, Eddie,
So
for joining us.
thank you Eddie again for joining this stream. And if you have time, feel free to just like join as a guest as well if you want. So, Ola, to start, would you like to go? To be honest, I would like to invite you later, Ola. We would like to have a full story with you and to talk about the details about your open source story. But like, let's just focus today on the live coding. And would you
Yeah.
like to share your screen and go with the issue that you are having?
Okay, great stuff. I will go on and share my screen. Not sure this running again. I understand. Let's
By
proceed
the
with.
way, we have some kind of good news that Eddie will join us.
Ooh, that's great.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, so he will join us in like a few minutes.
Okay, great stuff. Entire screen. That would be entire screen. Okay, don't mind me. Entire screen would be better. Okay. Share. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's here. Just give me a second. Um, I
So I
can
guess I
see.
should.
Yeah, I think it's right now our stuff. Yeah, here's the. uh, That's awesome.
Okay, so
This is
so
cool.
you.
Would you like to zoom it a little bit?
Okay, okay. Let me do that. Control plus plus.
By
How
the
about
way,
now?
Eddie is here right now. So just give me a second. Hey, hey.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
Hi, good. How about you?
I'm good. It was great to hear that introduction, Ola. Thank you so much for the amazing BioDrop contribution to shout out. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much for actually also making it some beautiful experience for me. Because in all honesty, I learned a lot on that project, and it was just really beautiful for me. And
Me too. I learned so much. I mean, you seem to pick the issues that no one else wants to do. They're really difficult and challenging, and you know, I just think they're amazing. I would have given up on those issues way before you. So for you to continue to power through and to get it over the line, I was super impressed. I was saying to Sarah, like, oh wow, he's like, when I grow up, I want to be like him. Like that was just awesome. I learned so much, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you doing this live stream and shout out for BioDrop. So thank you so much. Thank you to both of you.
Yeah, you're welcome. By the way, thank you for joining, which is like it was super awesome. Just like to have some context here. So like when I tweeted about this live stream and so like Eddie commenting on that, I just sent him a message telling him if you are free, just like join this live stream.
I'm only joining for a few minutes. I'm not going to gate crash. And Ola here is the star. He does
Yeah.
amazing coding on open source. I just joined for a few minutes just to support and say hey and just really appreciate it. But I won't be here for very long. I'm just happy to geek out with you both.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, here it is. Someone is going to share
don't
something.
mind me. I'm just trying to enjoy the moment. It's not every day you see something like this, so I'm just kind of like trying to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. And this is like something
All right,
this is
great.
awesome in open source, by the way, where you're just like everyone's kind helpful and welcoming.
Yeah, that is the community, right? I mean, everyone's just awesome. I like it how Olaf focuses on like multiple communities, multiple projects, and I think that's just really amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, great work. I'm loving this collaboration. So I'll be quiet and I'll watch, and then I have to go in a few minutes anyway. But any questions, let me know.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. So, Ola, would you like to continue then for showing the issue that you are facing? By the way,
All
I'm
right, great
just
stuff.
like
So I'll
holding
just go on and
myself
share.
back from turning this into a podcast. Because otherwise I would just like go into a
Don't worry.
conversation. So I'm just like go for coding right now.
All right, great stuff. Just confirm that you can see my screen now, so I
Yeah, we
can
can see that.
go on and start from. Okay,
Sure.
great stuff. So here is the issue. So the issue was kind of like very stated clearly, and it's just great. It's not every day you see issues that are written clearly, like this clearly in on open source projects and stuff. So the main idea of the issue is to kind of like create a feature where you are able to sort of like embed the BioDrop profile.
Yeah.
on any site, on an external site, and that preferably would be like Markdown, something like this for like anywhere you just put some sort of like an embed code, you do it there.
Yeah.
So the main ideology of trying to like do an embed normally would be like usage of iframe and stuff like that. But for platforms like GitHub and majority other platforms, they don't really support iframes. They would always want to like take out those parts for the code because of security and scripting kind of injection possibilities and stuff. So the idea that we kind of like subscribed to was to kind of like use like an OG idea that sort of like converts a component, which would obviously consist of, like the user's profile data, which would be like the display picture, their name, some link, and if possible, and stuff like that. Then you can kind of like, like convert it into like an SVG, and that gets returned anywhere the URL is kind of like, created and stuff, right? So I've been able to work on the feature a little bit, right? And I was able to create like the endpoint that sort of like undoes sending an SVG response at all in the first place, right? I was able to do that, and that's the thing I kind of like demoed in the video here. It just like takes a certain URL, something like this, and then it returns like the SVG, right? So at some point, there wasn't any user data at all in the SVG returns. It was just like a static SVG, right? But later down
Yeah.
the line, I was able to, like the main component from Eddie here. Thank you very much, Eddie, for making this very beautiful experience possible and stuff. So I was able to sort of like get the main component and where I'm kind of like able to populate user data, right?
Yeah.
And the moment you populate user data and you request that link for the embed, it populates and gives you something like this. So this is an example on Eddie's profile, right? If I can
Yeah.
quickly just open a new tab here and see if I can just run that
For the record,
so I can
I
see it
appreciate the
generate
shout
green.
out, but I did the easy part. I literally copied and pasted some example code. Ola is doing all the hard work. I had it easy, and yeah, this is really tough and challenging. So I just really appreciate you looking into it and actually coming up with a solution, because this worked, and I loved it. I know there are some extra challenges, but I think it is awesome. And to be honest, after this live stream, I would suggest we could probably get what you've done so far merged, and then the supporting the icons that I know isn't working just yet, that can come later as a separate pull request, because I still think it adds value already, and the majority of people don't have them in their bio. I know it's something that you're what's the word? You want to do an excellent job, so I get that and I respect that. But maybe we can split it into two pull requests. Just an idea.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But then down the line, there's still some kind of like issue that came up and stuff. All these things are not usually something we plan. And I just realized there's also something that came up, and it's also one of those things I'm going to share with Roger today. And I wouldn't want to skip that one till the next pull request, in all honesty, right? And we will get to it. And the part, let me just go straight into it, is if you kind of like request for this description, right?
Yeah.
When you request for the description, the thing that comes from the database is a markdown text. It's a markdown text. And guess what? For any profile that has a markdown on there, if you look at the description, you would obviously get the markdown thingy in there. Like maybe it's a bold text, you will get the star, star, star in the description. And that doesn't look function that can, meet that bio description to sort of like convert the markdown to plain text, right? Before we can generate the old stuff. So it's just one of those things that came up. Well, anyway, let me just kind of like not profile. Let me just say Eddie
I'm going to have to go. Sorry to
name.
leave you
Yeah.
both. I will catch up on the live stream after my live stream. So thank you both again so much. I really
Sure.
appreciate it.
Thank you for having this
All right.
like short time with us, and hopefully we'll see you like another stream.
No, it sounds good. Sounds good. Ola, can you do me a favor? Could you bring up BioDrop on the screen and let me take a screenshot for Twitter and I can tag you both as well?
Yeah, thank you for that.
No problem at all.
Okay, great stuff.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, we are.
Three, two, one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll do that later on. Thank you again, both. Have a
Awesome.
great live stream.
Thank you for that. Thank you for joining.
Everyone, if you're watching, give the video a thumbs
All
up
right,
and
thank you.
subscribe below.
Thank you for that. And
Yeah.
thank you for the shout out,
All right,
Edie. I
great
really
stuff.
appreciate that.
So I don't know.
Thanks.
This
Bye,
looks just
guys.
okay.
Thank you. See ya. Okay, so this was super awesome.
Okay, so here is kind of like that thing, like when you
Yeah.
visit like the thing. So it responds with this. So this is because this is for Eddie, right? If you were to maybe search for somebody else like myself, I don't know if it's myself, whether it's going to bring my profile picture with the O response, right? Because it actually does that sometimes. Like it doesn't bring my image. Oh, it brings my image. That's great stuff. Oh, there it is. So this right here now is actually going to be possible to embed on a certain profile.
Yeah.
So now the issue that we are trying to fix here is situations whereby you sort of like visit, you sort of like visit some, you sort of like want to get profile of the person who has like an emoji inside of their
Yeah.
description, right? So I'm trying to like open to
Mhm.
see a certain user that has an emoji inside of their description so I can do
I
a
think
pop for
we
that and then we can see something like that.
yeah, I think we could get the one that from your tweet.
Go
If
on.
just give me a second, I'm just like going back to Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, we could go to Twitter and just like find the one from the tweets or the one in the calendar itself. Wait, just give me a second. Here is the tweet. You because you tweeted the issue by the way, and this all of this like live stream started from a tweet you have done. So I would just like share the tweet in the comment.
okay. Yeah, true.
And here you have this profile of yeah. What was it? Your profile or was someone else? Because his name is no, it's someone else. Olabode Olatunji.
Oh, okay, yeah. That explains it. That was actually a profile of someone that doesn't exist, and it was actually like hard coded into the place, and I
Yeah,
can understand exactly what you see there now. So what I'm gonna say is this. Let me just quickly open that part of the page because I just quickly remembered now that there is that part that is hard coded, and I can easily just like populate the page with it because this is the person. Yeah, here, right here.
okay, so it was just like a dummy person that you have
So let
added.
me just do
Yeah,
like this. Yeah,
so it was just a dummy data. Okay.
exactly. So I just coded that into that place. But then we can actually use actually exist on this person's profile that I'm trying to view here.
Yeah. So instead of like rendering the real profile, you are
Yeah.
just rendering some data that you have.
Yes, exactly. So we can render some real human data and stuff. So I'm just waiting for that to load. I think this is somewhat dependent. Okay, here, right here.
Yeah.
So
Right
let me
now,
just kind of like see if I can zoom this in a bit. Okay, great stuff. Okay, great. So here
awesome.
now, look at this part. These icons that you see here, this icon, like this all blocks arranging on top of themselves, they are actually supposed to be emojis, right? And they're supposed to be this emoji,
Yeah.
like this avocado emoji, this plate emoji, and this coda emoji.
Yeah.
You understand? Normally at build time for the all stuff to run, we're using Satori. We're using Satori, and Satori kind of like takes the component and converts it to, oops, Satori kind of like takes them components and converts it to SVG, right? So
Yeah.
it takes this user profile, yes, this
Sure.
user profile component, right? And it
And
converts it into SVG. But then
yeah.
it's not able to convert the user data that has like emoji in it, like the text description of the user that
Yeah.
has like emoji in it. So that's like the issue here. But then in order to actually sort that, I saw something on Satori's
I
documentation that you can use a certain property known as a grapheme images to sort of do like a find and replace of the of the emoji with the appropriate SVG data,
yeah.
SVG image, and then it will do like the find and replace by itself, filling in the right SVG there, because it's not perceiving the emoji as though they were SVG. It's kind of like trying to read it as text.
Yeah.
It's not reading it correctly. It would rather work with an SVG instead, right? So the
Yeah.
place where I found that is right here. Oopsie. So it's just really that way. Well, anyway, can you kind of like go on and show me the other one that you said you guys worked on?
On open source. Okay, sure.
Raja?
Just give me a second. I will open my. Should should I open my screen and share it, or do you want me to walk you through that?
All right, you can just open your screen and share with me so I can see what you guys did on open source and how we kind of like
Yeah,
hosted
sure.
this and stuff.
Sure. Awesome. Just give me a second. I'm going back to open stuff that I have here. Mm. In open source, like they were using, or we have used Satori as well, and they they got the same issue that you are having. So I will walk you through that and show how I have solved it. Because like the situation that I solved it, it was similar to what you have seen or the same approach, but like the difference was just we copied the generalized solution, which is like the one that you were looking for. I will just like go and check the PR, the issues. Um, Not this one. I think we could check the PRs. Emoji. Wasn't it the emoji? Yeah. I can't find the PR. So let me just
Yes,
check
I
it
think you
for.
have the link of the stuff in the tweet too. So
Yeah,
I,
I will go to Twitter right now. Because like at that time I remember that I have shared it with you. So here, let's go to Twitter is being a good archive for us right now. So this is the issue, and yeah, this is one. Why I didn't find it? Because it was an open graph. Okay, so an open graph. Let's go down.
yeah, you were looking at another repository.
Where is the PR? I'm just like trying to find. Yeah, here it is. Add emoji support. So, for some context, like open source are using Satori for the social cards that are being generated from people profile, and they are showing that on Twitter or whatever. So if you share something from open source, they will request this open graph data, and they will show this image on Twitter and social media. And here they are using the same. I remember that they are using the same Satori library. Let me check it from Open Graph Satori. Yeah, so as you can see here, they are using the same Satori library that you are using in Biodrop, and they have the same issues. So for the issues that we're having here, the solution was like um I will go through the solution. We get like the get icon code and load emoji, and for that, I will just like yeah. For that, we get like this kind of uh, we convert the emoji to its code, and when we convert that code, we get the segment of that information, so we could check if it's like an emoji or not. If it's like an emoji code, we just like get the what was the name, the decode, we encode that, and the base 64 encoded version of it, which is like the ASCII code of that. And when we get this, we just like then we request that from I think here we request it from the library that we are having, and then we just like show this SVG code. So if we compare it to your approach is just like you are having every emoji mapped to the link itself, but like instead of
Yeah.
mapping every emoji to the link itself, we are using the base 64 encoded version of that emoji. So we just like request that emoji directly, and
Okay.
here we have, yeah, we have other stuff related to API or whatever. I don't remember what we have done here. And we have the testing stuff here. So yeah, that is the logic. So I think like the main logic here is just like converting this to, and yeah, so the other part that we have, which is like I use this kind of load additional asset, which is like was explained in the Satori repository, I think. Um, so let me just like open the repo. And here you can see that they have this kind of section, which is like similar to what you had. And I used that immediately, by the way, which is like telling us how they are supporting the dynamically loading emoji. And here they are showing that the part of the emoji, which is showing us through the base 64. And they didn't parse it here, by the way. They just like explained the logic here. And besides that, what I did, but I'm just like going right now through how I solved that issue with open source before. So we have like just a full context, then we will just like go to by drop if it's okay for you.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes very good
Yeah.
sense. And in all honesty, I didn't even look at this part because I was just kind
Yeah.
of like, looking at the part that sort of like makes quickly and stuff. And this makes a lot of sense. I was actually looking at a situation where I can sort of like, take your own solution that you suggested with the pull request and stuff and see if there is a way I can, like programmatically morph it into building that object that I would
Yeah.
obviously be needing in the in the grapheme image parts of the stuff. Just scroll to the top a little bit. Just scroll to the top a little bit.
Here.
Just exactly
Yeah.
grapheme images. Right?
This
Scroll down,
one.
scroll
Yeah.
down, scroll down, downwards. Around this, yeah, exactly. So my whole reasoning was just kind of like blocked on the fact that I just need an object that sort of like has a key value pair of the emoji and the emoji
Yeah. This
SVG kind
logic.
of thing, and that would have been like a very big object. Exactly,
Yeah.
something like that. So it would just be a situation like if you can just pass in the object that holds all possible emojis and all their SVG equivalents, like linked to the SVG and stuff, you can just get that. I
Yeah.
wasn't even looking downwards, and that downwards here is just a thing that just kills it. So it means
Yeah.
we're just going to like add this additional asset property into the down parts. Instead
Yeah.
of using that grapheme, we can just put something like this in there. Exactly. Ooh,
Yeah.
this is great stuff.
This is like that. This is just like simple as that. But like by the way, here I just could have a note that sometimes when like uh, the documentation itself explaining stuff like that, it's just like make us block it, because like even for me when I've looked at that for the first time, I get lost a little bit, because like when you read this you think this is the solution and you think that there is nothing else, but like they could just like explain something extra here for to know about that. And here I think I could show that the emoji and the link. So they are like for the logic that they are having here for the K-map stuff. If you go to the console and convert the emoji to base 64, it didn't work. Why? B2A. Hmm. It didn't work right now. Okay. Because I'm not sure why. Because I think, do I need to get no? Okay. Anyway, if you convert this emoji to B2A, you will find the same code that you have here, which is like what we are using in the our load asset. And the extra part that I did to
Yes,
understand how
exactly.
this works, here, like if you go to this like load additional assets, they are not showing how they are using the emoji code, because like here they just like wrote the return and that just like kept it kind of without extra information. So what I did before was going to the examples. Let's go. Okay. And here in the examples, I think they have it somewhere. Yeah, here they have it in the advanced, by the way. And here in the advanced, they are showing some kind of, let me just zoom the screen. They are showing some code that they have written. At the same time, they are showing the emojis and the results of that. And they are showing us how
Yeah,
we could play with this emoji, how we could change the head or whatever, or reset that. And at the same time, they are showing us how to change the emojis, by the way. So you could use like Twee emoji, or you could use open emoji and you change the style, if you
yeah.
can see that here. So what I did at that time
Sure,
to
sure.
understand how the emojis work was to find these emojis in the code that they are using, or find it like I did my search and I found this playground where they have the data. And at that time I just like went through the, is it in the cards? I just tried to find, yeah, I think it's not the preview tab, not the data, it's somewhere else. So here I didn't find that. Okay, so let me find something else. So let's just check for the emoji provider. I just like went through the code that they have already written, and I checked the code they have here, which is like, I think this one, it is it. So load. Uh, at that time I just like kept debugging their own code to understand what's going on, and I found this kind of the solution that I have implemented,
Mm,
which is I'm not being able to find it right now. So this emoji, set emoji type, no, twee, how would we write
it's
that? Twee
yeah,
emoji.
yeah.
Yeah, I think, hmm, yeah, I think this is it. So here this they have this kind of uh,
Oh,
two emoji in the utils, and here they are just like loading the emoji, having formatting the emoji, and at the same time returning that emoji, which is like the one that I used, which is like exactly what we have used in open source. I
okay.
didn't change that when I went to open source because I felt like it would be better to have it. So for by a drop, we could just like go and implement this solution here, and then have that load additional asset. Was it load additional assets? Yeah, and
Okay.
implement that there so we could have it. So if you like, I could just like stop sharing my screen, and I will share the links, by the way, for anyone to watch who is watching this in the, what link did I share? Yeah, I shared the GitHub link. I'm sharing the playground link in the comments, so anyone who is watching, he could go and check the stuff that we are doing. And here, the last thing we are sharing, Satori link. So here we go. Do we need anything from those? No. This is like okay. So if you want, we could just like you could go and share your screen, so we could go with you, and then we could implement the solution.
Okay. Great stuff. So let's just kind of like make plans to how we're going to implement the solution like moving forward now.
Yeah,
So the thing that we're doing now is I want to assume that we are leveraging this load, this other property that says like load
load.
additional assets, right?
Yeah,
That's what we're
yeah,
leveraging.
yeah. We are leveraging that because like this property will detect some kind of codes that doesn't or
So
not being rendered in the front. So they are just checking the stuff that are not working, and we are detecting them. Let's just like, yeah,
yeah,
let's
so
start
it's
with
like
this
it's going
one.
to look into the,
Yeah, it's
can you hear
going
me?
to look at the stuff
So I'm
that we are
saying
saying.
you
Yeah,
say
I can hear you.
so you're saying it's going to kind of like look at the part of the thing that is getting converted and look at the part that isn't maybe getting converted correctly,
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
which
And
will be like the emojis in the text,
yeah,
and then
and here,
the it will try to like take the base. Go on.
yeah, I think like we have some kind of delay, but like here, uh, you could like, if you implement that, you could just like check it if it's emoji, and if it's emoji, you could just like ignore that, or if it's emoji, you could just like go with the stuff that you are having, because like, let me share my screen again. For this part, they are having like the code which will detect language code, and if it's emoji, it will just like say emoji. If it's something that it didn't detect it, it will just like say unknown,
Emoji.
and the segment will be the normal
Mm.
content that they are rendering. So, and the return is the thing that are rendering. So you could see how you could use that, which is something that will tell you when you get like some kind of uh, code or information that you need to render. Here you could just like have this kind of uh, edge case study like situation where you can work on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Really plain code, just maybe copy a little bit of it from like
Yeah, we will copy a little bit of that. Yeah, so just like that.
let me just
Do you want to share your screen?
let me just copy yeah, sure. Want to do that.
Yeah, sure.
You see now, right?
Yeah, we see it right now. It is
Okay,
your,
great.
yeah.
I agree. So here it means I can just go like load additional assets. See the stuff is even there just like that. Right. I think it's an async. And just
You
copy
could
out
just like go
that
and
a
copy
little
and
bit.
paste it.
Exactly. So there, right? But we're not TypeScripting, so you can leave.
Yeah, this is make stuff easier.
Me and the
Okay.
code can leave.
Would you like to zoom a little bit in your
Exactly.
screen? Mhm.
Okay, let me do that. Ooh, is this okay
Yeah,
now?
That's awesome.
Okay. Okay. Let me just put this out here and stuff. Okay, great. So the place that we're gonna now try to go now is we already have sort of like have the code, and at this point in the code, it means let me just change this into person, so we don't try to fetch real data. We should just sort of like work with the currently existing code
Yeah, we work with
data.
our issue.
Exactly. So we can just work with this emoji, this and that, and hope something works right with it. So the thing now is the moment the like senses whether it's an emoji or not, it looks round this bio description text or maybe anything. So it sort of like
Yeah.
takes there's something that will not work in here. Let me just quickly do something. There's something that isn't going to work, and that is this part. So let me just temporarily take this part out and just say um, data dot image, right? Data dot image URL. Yes. So that's how that would work. Okay. So the thing now is the moment it discovers like an emoji, then it tries to do something here. But if it
Yeah.
doesn't, if it's not an emoji, then it just sort of like returns the text as normal. So from this point now, how do we proceed? That's the
Yeah.
part where we now sort of like integrate the solution that you said you did with open source, right?
Yeah. So
So
here, like the other part is like
if I
if you see this
can just
load, can you hear me?
come, I can hear you for sure.
Yeah, awesome. So here, just like before going, I to be honest, I don't remember what was the load font from system part is. Uh, they did just like use some function here. So like the load font from system, we didn't use it in open source as I remember, and we could just like right now we could have that emoji and convert it to base 64, and after converting that we could just like request the emoji from that to emoji API. So here's just like a minor improvement, by the way.
Okay, so I think this is it. I think this load funds from system. I think it's kind of like a thing that has to do with like
the
the fonts that we sort of already created right here, right? With
I'm
the
not sure.
buffer and the name of the fonts there.
No, I'm not sure about that.
I think that's what that
But I'm not sure about that because like if you go, can you go to the Satori repository?
here.
Yeah, and can you copy this font from system in the repository itself?
What?
Can you copy like can you
Okay, like
search
search for
this?
it.
Yeah, to see if it's like used anywhere. Because
Okay,
I I I remember that it has it like it wasn't used anywhere. It was just like a normal function.
oh, okay, I'm searching for it. I think it wasn't really used anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that because like this was just like a dummy function.
Exactly.
um okay, so uh, th- no,
Okay,
I
I
think we
get
could just
that. I
like
get
ignore
that.
that.
But the thing about it is, you know that thing about like the logic that we put together inside of this bit. Something with the emoji. I think that's the
Yeah,
thing that
this is like the area.
matters. And if you look at the exact the place where I ran it, everything is already working.
Yeah,
Like the thing it was replacing that was replacing it before. Now it's trying to like load the image data itself in there,
yeah.
right? You see that?
So the image that you have seeing there, if you click on that, on right click and inspect it, I think you will find it as an SVG image something. And if you go to the code, can you go? Yeah, let's just like inspect it first.
Yeah, that's it. It's actually SVG, but then the
Eh,
source is
but
actually
yeah,
reading. The source is reading the exact data that we have like in here.
yeah,
Is exact.
it's the same data that we have here. Yeah, so exactly. So here, if you write anything else, maybe if you want to write biodrop, you will find that emoji has been returned as biodrop word. So we are converting the emoji to something like random. No, it's not like biodrop because it's an image, but like,
Right. I
yeah, you
think it
could.
will just.
It will just like have some yeah, some empty stuff here. So here,
I know extra. Yeah, exactly.
because like it's an image, it's like putting an image here and it's putting the link of that image. So for us, we need to get the link from the twee emoji, which
Yeah.
in open source, if you go to the repository of open source, you could see that we have used base 64 converter and got like requested that from the server. I'm not sure in the case of biodrop, maybe you could just like go with that like twee emoji link at the end of it. We could just like write the BTO small letters for this emoji that you are having. I think like for this we could just like go and have and use that BTO and convert it to small letters, which is like similar to what we did in open source. Can can we go to the open source?
Okay. So the thing is now we're in the chat here.
It's in,
Okay.
not in the
Okay.
chat. I will find it again.
I think I'm sort of like linking to it from the tweet.
Yeah, I shared it in the chat again.
Okay, great. So the thing to be clear now, the functionality that we're looking for is the thing that's sort of like this part returns that takes like the emoji code and works around it, then knows the appropriate
Yeah,
image.
yeah. So right now we just like
Exactly.
get
So
handled the emoji and we are aware that this is the emoji, so we need to just like convert that.
okay, yeah, I see. So it means that we're using this load emoji. That's the tweemoji.ts. That's this functionality, right?
Yeah, and this functionality we had it because like this could enable us in
Exactly.
using multiple emojis. And here, as you can see that the formatting and getting yeah, so it's not just like converting to to yeah, like base 64. They had some kind of different processing here. So first they, I think, yeah, I think if you see that they had yeah, they had a pre-processing for that emoji, and when they pre-processed that, they use it to request the emoji from the API that we are having, which is like will be twee emoji for biodrop.
Okay. So it sort of like takes the code, figures out what particular kind of emoji it is, and then it sort of like does like any necessary request to anywhere it has to go to, and then fetches the SVG back in return,
Yeah, that's it.
right?
That's it. So just like getting the emoji, converting the emoji to the code that is related to it, which is like, uh, I think it's just like the ASCII code or something like that for this. And then
Yeah,
after getting that code, we are requesting that code from the link or the API for the SVG. And this is all like have been done in the Satori
yeah, that
repository, by
makes
the
sense.
way.
Okay, that makes sense. So let me just take the first step, and the first step is to sort of like
Yeah.
create this create this functionality in the code. So I already copied that code. Thank you for letting me steal your code.
You are welcome.
And
I
I'm gonna
already
put
stole it
that in the services folder.
from
I think
Vercel.
I understand that. So to emoji, I think that's the name of the functions then we created it. To emoji.js. Let me just put that and just quickly paste it. I didn't copy it yet. Ooh, that's crazy.
We didn't use
I
this, by the
copied
way.
it.
I think um we could have this inside. Could we have that inside it? Hmm.
Inside, you mean could we have it inside this place? In
Inside the
the load
load
additional asset
additional.
property
Yeah,
itself, where we want to
yeah,
use it.
yeah.
Nah, it will make the code totally unreadable. I don't believe that way, man. I can't do
Oh,
that.
okay. Let's go with that.
I
Yeah.
would not be able to do that.
Because for me, I was thinking like to have small part of it instead of having all of it, but like, yeah, the code is too long.
I know, right? Exactly. It's too long. I can't. We can't do that.
Let's just have it
Okay, I
as
think
it
this should
is.
work now. Okay, exactly. All these types it can lead to
Yeah, it's
TypeScript.
because
Thank
TypeScript.
you for exactly.
And you
Okay,
need to remove that.
live. I think that should be everything. Okay. This isn't converting properly to what do you call it? This isn't converting to JS doc properly. Yeah, exactly. So I think that does it, right? Yeah, that does it. So save that. Come back here. It's export function get ID code, export load emoji. Okay, great. So every other function that are not exported from the files are functions that are used within the file itself.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah. And right now, I think we could just like need to
Okay,
request
great.
that.
So after, so it means because I was actually trying to look at the I was trying to look at the parts again, see whether there is something we need to get. Okay, yes, the load
Yeah, we need.
emoji and the get icon code. I think those are the two functionalities exported from the file itself.
Yeah, it's two functions here.
Yeah, load emoji. Yeah, and get icon code. That makes sense. Okay, great. So it means I can just go onto the top here and import load emoji and get icon code from where? Uh,
From was it Tree Omiji?
don't mind me. Yeah, from Twimoji, but it can't go that way exactly. I don't know. I don't know why the stuff just didn't give me suggestion to the place where it is exactly, and that don't make no sense, right?
Yeah, it's
The
the.
fact that it didn't give me anything to where it. So
Yeah,
let's
sometimes
just
like
let's do like this and
this
hope it
fail
gives
us.
us something code emoji icon code. So the thing, the crack, the cheat code to it now that I say is don't try to, if it's a named export, don't try to always write your coily braces and like bring the suggestion out by itself, right? So
Yeah.
return.
So you need to. So if you don't write the braces, like it will just get the suggestion, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So the parts that we're trying to like, yes, if you don't write if you write the curly braces, it will not try to get the auto suggestion for you. So just do it with the curly braces. Just try
Yeah.
writing your name there as is first. Okay, so it goes like BOTA, BTOA. That's
Yeah.
the base thing, the JavaScript repository, right? From the
Yeah.
JavaScript thingy,
This is the JavaScript thing that turning it into base
and
64.
then we go in the load emoji, and then we're using to emoji, right? To emoji, view closeout, yeah. Don't mind me. You're just writing your code. This is what it
Yeah.
feels like to
You could just
copy
like
code.
copy paste it.
You pay attention. That's true, right? Don't mind me.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, segment. Yeah, that's all right. So I think
The good
also all good. This should work, right?
I yeah. So here is like the first part, which is like the code is checking if it's an emoji or not, and the segment is like the rest of the code, which is like the code that we need to convert.
Okay, I think something is not correct here, and that's this part. I think this is the first one. This is the second one. Yeah, there should be one more bracket. Yeah, there.
Yeah, and yeah, that's
So
it.
what we've done now is okay. So what we've done now is we've implemented a functionality. We copied this from Rajab's implementation on open source. I thanked him for stealing the code, and he confirmed to me
Yeah,
that
I
he also
confirmed
stole
that
it
I
somewhere
took it
too.
from
And
Satori.
then we've just kind of we've just kind of like implemented this functionality here where we load additional assets. It's a property that exists within the Satori options property, and we put in this code that sort of like checks whether the code that we're trying to had like the a ligature kind of thing to is emoji. If it's emoji, then it runs this function. If it's not emoji, it just goes and runs the normal code, right? So if it's emoji
Yeah.
image, or maybe it's the href, we throw with like this data thingy to base 64, and then it takes like the segment of the code which will be like the maybe is it going to be like the id, the code exactly of that emoji, right? That's the segment, isn't it?
Can you repeat the question?
So it kind of like takes that
Yeah, and yeah, the
I'm
seg.
asking like the segment thing, what exactly or the rendered code of the
Can you go to yeah? Can you
go
go to
on.
Satori? I will show you how I get like. I think the code is like if it's telling us it's emoji or not, and segment is the rest of the code, which is like the information that we have, which is like explained I think in Satori. If you go to Satori
Okay,
repository and go to
okay,
the
yeah,
default documentation,
yeah, here.
yeah, here it is, and we could go to our emoji stuff, or you just like you could just press Control F. Segment.
Here. Okay, segment. That's true. Segment. Here.
Yeah, so here it is. It's
Okay.
like the code
Segment will be
that
the content.
to render, which is like the content of like the first one, code or emoji or unknown. It's telling us if it's like an emoji or not, or something else. And the segment is the emoji content, the information of that emoji, based on the documentation. So I just
Okay.
like read this.
Okay. The information of that emoji. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. So it kind of like takes this segment, and from that segment, it generates like the appropriate icon code that it's going to try and load the emoji with
Yeah,
onto emojis, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And here you could like
Save
use,
this. Hopefully it works, right? So if this works now, we should. Roger.
yeah. Can you repeat?
Oops. Are you still there, Roger?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm saying like I'm just trying to like proceed now. I'm saying hopefully.
Yeah. So okay, uh, you were saying something and get disconnected, or like I didn't hear
Okay,
you,
okay. So
or
I was saying that hopefully if this works,
yeah.
I can hear you. So I'm saying
Okay.
hopefully if this works, we should see this emojis like this avocado emoji, this rocket emoji, and this computer emoji right here to replace this text, right?
Yeah,
So we are going to go on and give this a whirl now. I'm going to load the page and
and refresh
hopefully
the page.
it should run. And boom, it works.
Yeah, here's the emojis. Here's our emojis. Okay, here are they. And here we have something that's working, and
Wow, that's great
you did
stuff.
some super awesome
God.
like feature right now.
Let's take this part out and kind of like test it with real data, right? Because this is just like, um, some demo data of some. So I'm going to put this to be like, profile this time around. Profile, save that, and go into the component that gets rendered and change this into what it was. Save that. So great. So it means now that anybody's profile that we load on here should actually show. So I'm going to go on and load this Panquist. Ooh, it actually shows for that person. And it's this person's content that we're using in the first place. So there is the emoji. And I can just go on to
Yeah,
BioDrop again and look at maybe any other person's profile that has like an emoji in there.
yeah, sure.
I don't think it's everybody. This person just has an emoji in their profile.
Is it just like one person's case?
Well, anyway, let's just do it.
Or maybe I could do a profile and
Yes,
have,
exactly. It's just like that one person. So you can. All right, great stuff. You can just go on and do a profile then. But if you do a profile, I don't think you're working with. So if you do a profile, it might not really take effect here immediately. It will not
ah,
even take
really?
effect immediately, exactly. Yeah, because I'm actually
Okay.
running
I think
on
this is like having
the what do they call it?
development
What do you
environment.
call it? Like the local environment.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is this. I have like a local port. Yes, I kind of like have a local port forwarding. So I'm going to like pop up the URL for testing. Also look at it. Let me just look at the terminal that's
or maybe you
running
can
and pick
change
up the
your,
ports from there. Right here. Oh, it's still private. So I want to like expose the ports, make it visible, and I can share you the link so you can maybe do the profile on there because I think you can
yeah.
that way. I think you can do the profile on there. Yeah. So I'm gonna paste it here. Send that. Okay, great. So I will just come and put this in the chart.
Sure. If you, yeah, you
But
could,
hey, if anybody's looking at
you
this
could
stuff
go.
is actually only for, okay, I'm gonna send it in the private.
Yeah, there is a private chat
Send
somewhere,
it
but
in the
like it's already
private. So
exposed
nobody's trying
somehow.
to exactly. So I already sent it to you in the private. So the reason why I usually kind of like have this tunnel exposed to is so I can, like sort of get access to the endpoint that exposes this, that sends back this SVG, right? And that way I can sort of like come to GitHub and test the embed link, like
Yeah.
the embed URL immediately there, right? And I was able to do that. I've been able to do that multiple times, and that's why we are able to sort of like generate all these URLs as needed here. So I'm just kind of like going to come this way because there should be
I couldn't
a
open the link
place
you
for
sent
every
to me, by the
user
way.
on the platform to kind of, oh, what is it saying? What error are you saying?
It's 403 access denied.
Access denied. Maybe still
Yeah.
trying to like make the URL public for now because it's just I just put it public now, right?
Is this a function or
So maybe
something?
it's still trying to like resolve that. I don't know. Right. Go on and try again.
Yeah, sure.
Go on and try again.
Access denied again. So just like dev tunnel something. Yeah. Maybe I could just like
Access
go
denied
with
again. Wow.
opening cognitive mode. No, it's access denied. But there, is this like this an extra feature or like an extra plugin you are using in Visual Studio Code?
No, it's not. It's actually built in. I only just learned about it a few weeks ago too. It's like if you open the terminal, you're going to see this part that says ports, right? So you just click there and forward the port.
Yeah. And then you open that.
So you just like add port and you had your current port. So I'm running on port 3000, right? So I just
Yeah.
kind of port and it just generated the forwarded address for me, like a thing. So the thing I'm trying to like load now is the profile for any user, right? And that way on the profile, on the user's profile, I already put like a functionality where you can sort of like go to the share platform, share area, and you can copy their profile embed URL, and then you can take that embed URL and go put it anywhere, right? And
Yeah.
basically there will be two options. There will be like markdown, markdown option, and there will also be like the what do you call it? There will be like the markdown option, and there will also be the HTML option where you can just like copy an HTML code. Everything will be there already, like the alt, the description, and stuff for the text. So that's what typically takes.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to wait for the stuff. So I'm just going to come to this description area, right? And just put like the code here. Okay, yeah. So the way this runs, we use like this
Yeah.
markdown thing that sort of like link, right? And then we put
Yeah.
like the URL here. So I'm just going to use Eddie's thing, shall we?
Just give me a second.
So image, not necessarily, and then the exclamation. So this right here, if it works, should actually just be profile, like the component, like something exactly like this, right? It should. But then it's loading. I don't have any errors yet. This can take time because even GitHub on my computer, on my network actually runs like, I don't know how to describe it. It just runs in slow-mo.
Yeah, I see that. I think it could be because of the port, because right now I am connecting to your port and it's working, but like
Oh,
it's
it's
taking.
working.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
I just like had to add the port which is like double dot the number of the port at the end of it. But like it's taking too much time to open that.
Yeah, I guess it's obviously going to be the case because I thinking that is also dependent on my own kind of like internet connection and
Yeah,
stuff
it's
to send
dependent
the
on you
data
and
as
me.
needed to you at the time you need it. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So it's not working yet. But anyway, this is just what I mean. Like if you come on any user profile and you click on this share icon, you're going to see this pop up, right? That says like
Yeah,
embed profile. So this right here, this first option here is like the embedding the profile with like Markdown. And this third option right here is like the one that embeds the profile with HTML. So this second one is like a mixture of Markdown and HTML. So we're still going to just have to, like remove this part and just only leave this first option and this third option. And then that should obviously look nicer than this. Maybe in one field, and you can switch between HTML and Markdown. And whichever one you choose, you can just like, click copy and
yeah.
then just take that anywhere you want to embed and just paste, right? And if you paste, that should work normally, right? But then I think this is, oh yes, see, this is actually still using the what do you call it? It's using the local host, and that obviously isn't going to work at that time, right? Because the way it's kind of like embedded there within the
Yeah.
URL is just to take like the current URL of the web page, and that should work. But like we said, it's just still very dependent on the internet connection, especially even GitHub. GitHub in my region at the moment is actually not very good with, how
Oh,
would I
really?
describe it? It's not with the Airtel internet, and that's my network provider,
Yeah.
and it's
And I
crazy.
think this like has been an issue for a long time.
You mean it? Because I actually spoke with a certain person in one of the communities I belong to. I was just
Yeah.
telling them how the person should use something instead of pictures. And the person, I just told the person like I've been having like issues viewing pictures on my GitHub for over 2 months now. And the person
Yeah.
just said that's how everybody has been complaining on Airtel. And not even just in my region. They said it's even like generally with Airtel on, even in India and other places. It's just crazy. See, I can't even
Okay,
see.
that's
I can't
interesting.
even see pictures on this profile. Yeah. So how about you do this? How about you do this? I'm going to send you this embed link, right? I'm going to send it to you private, and I want you to kind of like maybe go on tweet on any repository and just try to paste it there. You share your screen and let's see whether it works because you can view the stuff on your hand, right?
Yeah, it's working on my hand. I think it's not yeah, it's going to use your I will share my screen. It's going to use your internet again because like this is connected to your own yeah, this is connecting to your own PC. But like let's go and try that if you want. It's okay. So here
On your
I'm
chair.
sharing
I
the
think I
entire.
think I can take that for sure, right? Because it's only just going to like maybe try take some time to load anything on GitHub, right? Because it's GitHub that I have issues with on my end and stuff. So that's
Yeah,
just the
just
thing.
give me a second. I'm opening that right now. And yeah, by the way, the link you have, mm, it's not loading because I think the link you are having is just give me a second. I will open it. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, don't mind me coming.
Yeah,
It's
here's
not
my
up
screen.
yet, but
Here it
yeah, I can
is.
see your screen now.
Yeah. So let's go to BioDrop, your pull request. By the way, that um open source has the same issue, which is like embed on like external website and stuff like that.
Yeah, just you can just use.
this is not kind of for. I think that there is two issues here, which was like
Oh, open source has something like that too. They want to embed something on external side.
they had it, which is like the issue that I worked on.
Okay. Okay, you
This
know
is,
what you want to do now? Just copy the main URL from this description and kind of like maybe put it
I think this is like
on
just give me a
that other
second,
side.
because like we have this and we have
Just go to the right.
this as well, but like we
Okay.
need to have the embed one, right? Yeah, I think this is get merged like here it is, because like there was
Yeah.
something wrong in the URL, I guess. Or is it
Yeah.
not? Yeah, it's not working.
Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's how the stuff actually works, right? So the thing is, right?
But shouldn't I have added?
You would normally have like the square.
Hmm.
I think you have like a local host thing in there.
Mm, isn't this the same link that you shared? Yeah, this is it. It's not connecting.
No,
So,
it's not.
if you would like to, we could just like, mm, can you push that latest change that you have done, which is like the emoji stuff, to the repo,
Okay,
and
great.
I could just like,
That's true. Let me just
let me see. Hmm. I don't have MongoDB. Or do I have it?
let me
No,
just
I don't
push
have
that
it. Clone
to you to do
cd docker
immediately right
compose.
now. That's gonna be like a lot of things for you to do like immediately right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. We will do that later.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't want to do that.
No, that's a lot right now, but like we could do that later. But the link started to work. Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. It started to work, right? So exact thing I pasted to you, that the thing I pasted to you,
Yeah, it started to work, but like it's a little bit late or slow, let's say.
because the reason behind the way that thing looks is there's like two links, right? The first you should just like yeah, of course, should be that.
Hmm. So yeah, it's taking a lot of time.
Yeah, it's taking forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I said, it's just a thing with on my side. I don't run the server. I'm just using my basic internet.
Yeah, that's okay. I understand that. It's- no, just like
Yeah,
taking forever.
exactly. So how to merge util functions. Yeah, exactly.
And right now you want to, yeah, you maybe you could take a screenshot and share it instead of doing that, or do you want to test it on like GitHub, or maybe you could test it like
Oh, you
this
mean
one?
like test the
Yeah,
like test this thing that works now? This emoji. Oh, yeah, that. Come on, like I'm able to really solve this, right? And come on, I should obviously, God, I swear, you don't know what huge stuff you just done for me right here. and look at that. Look at that. It's actually not showing any image. And I think
Yeah.
the reason why it's not showing any image can obviously also be attributed to my internet. And
Oh, okay.
with the way GitHub kind of like treats, the way GitHub treats Airtel, or the way Airtel treats GitHub on in my region at the moment. So it can just really be attributed to that. So that's just the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I get that. I think then,
The stuff is
like,
working.
yeah,
The stuff is working now. Right. So
yeah,
I'm
it's
very
work.
at that.
It's
And
working.
thank you very much, Rajab. I mean, this is beautiful.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. It was like really great to like work with you on that. I think. Do you feel like to like just? I do. We need to do anything right now, or just like? Yeah, I think we have solved that, right?
How do you mean?
Like, I mean, we solved that issue, the emoji issue right now. Am I correct about
What did
that?
you say? Yeah, sure. We solved it. That's just everything about the emoji issue. That was just it. Like I said, I was looking to using the graphing image, which actually requires build getting a pre-built object
Yeah,
with key value pairs of the emojis and their SVG equivalents and stuff, linked to the SVG equivalents, which was going to obviously be a lot of work. And it would also be like, some data
yeah,
that you would put into the project that would also take its own space and its own functionality, if you understand in the
yeah,
first place. And this new functionality actually just takes it to the whole new level. It's lightweight, it's lightweight, and
yeah,
it only goes and looks at all the emojis. When we just looked at the discover page, there was only one user who had like emoji in their description.
yeah. It's just like an edge case for this kind of stuff.
And take it for example that it was only that one user on the whole project. So we will now be putting functionality also actually look smooth and all right on all the parts of the project. So this implementation that you've just kind of like helped me with now is just the thing that killed everything, and it's just super dope and it makes a lot of sense. Come on, let's
Yeah,
get it. Let's
awesome.
get it. Let's get it.
That's really great. I can't wait to see it like on the website running on the production.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to. But then the other issue that I have, which is something maybe we're going to do sometime later. I don't see. The thing is, I think Eddie actually wants us to even merge this and
Yeah, he
do
want to
like
merge that.
a follow-up pull request, which I
Yeah,
don't. Yes, which I don't mind to, but I'm just the kind of person that I like to finesse. I like it when I take up an issue. I just work completely on everything that needs to, like, because it's a feature, we call it. If the feature is not complete, then it's not a feature to me, right?
yeah, I
So
get
that's
that.
just like the thing. I was just looking forward to it. Exactly. But anyway, the tiny bit of issue now that I have is the fact that if you look at some other profile on the bio
Yeah,
job, there's some people actually have markdown. I mean, like when they're populating the description for the markdown for their bio, right? It actually takes who has links in there. You would see somebody who has like some bold text and stuff like that. And if these things are rendered
yeah,
the markdown, the normal markdown manner, it will come with all those, like those symbols. Say for bold, you would see like triple, say for bold, you will see like triple text, triple star before and after the text and stuff like that. You
yeah.
understand? So I'm just kind of like looking for a functionality like a utility function that I can implement that can take the markdown and convert them to like plain text and stuff like that. And I
Yeah, I
already
get
have
that.
something I implemented, but it just wasn't working.
Yeah, I get that. I haven't done that before, to be honest. So yeah, it would be great to check that somehow and see how we could run that. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Like I said, I already have a, we already have a functionality that works, and that should work, but it just wasn't working. I don't know. And the thing I'm
yeah, I get
leveraging is I am also trying to like avoid cases where I'm going to like be needing to install dependencies, multiple
yeah,
dependencies just to like sort it, right? But then I came to realize, I discovered that even these dependencies that I need are already existing within the project because they happen to be like some other dependencies for a certain dependency within the project. Like there's a package that is consumed within the project.
yeah.
It's called React Markdown, right? So the React Markdown uses these dependencies that I need for this functionality. And the dependencies is, I think it's called like Remark. Yeah, it's Remark.
Which is like
That's the
remarked
name
down
of the
somehow.
dependency. So I just want to kind of like some
Yeah,
other what do you call it? Let me just I just because I kind of like had to migrate the change from my previous file from my previous computer into like into like
yeah.
there is Remark
The new
Unified,
computer.
then there is Remark Parse, Remark Rehype, and Remark Stringify. So I had to copy like the file for the changes because I haven't committed it. So I copied the file onto like a flash drive that I've just
Yeah,
copied the file onto this new computer to just kind of
yeah,
like keep that changes because I can't let it just go with that. And by the way,
yeah.
I told
That
you I
will make
wasn't
it
going to be at
easier.
my house. Exactly.
Yeah,
I told you I wasn't going to be at the house, so I kind of like came to my mom's place, and the stuff is just like here with me. I can't come with all the computer. I just came with the new one, and that changes was some changes I haven't like committed. So I just want it here locally because I just did a clone of the project freshly on the computer here, did the
yeah,
npm install and everything to just get started with the call and stuff. So it's just there. So like I said, the dependencies that I'm kind of like consuming for this feature now, this markdown to plain text feature, it's kind of like one of the dependencies that already exists within
yeah.
within the project itself, right? Because
I
it's consumed by another project. So if I can just go on and share my screen, we're not going to go into it exactly here because I don't really have that much time left. My computer is going to go off, right? But then I'll
yeah.
go on and share my screen just to show you a little sneak of what
Uh,
I am talking
we
about.
we can see your screen right now.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just trying to go. Oh, so I don't have to actually go on to do the share thing. Stop sharing. So I can just share my screen like this. Can you see my screen like right now?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Can you see my screen like
Yeah, I can see.
okay,
I
great
can
stuff.
see
So this
the
is just the
majority of the code.
functionality, right? So there
Yeah,
is this unified is so the unified is like a script, it's like a module that exists on Remark, right? So I just
yeah,
kind of like bring in unified, bring in like the parser, bring in the rehype, the stringify, and then I kind of like populated this functionality that takes like the markdown, right? So if it takes the markdown, it kind of like produces this sort of like thing you'd
yeah,
assume as plugin, right? So it parses the markdown into some sort of thing like a text, right? So it parses the markdown into some sort of thing like a text, like normal text, right?
yeah,
And then it uses this rehype to turn it into like some HTML, right? So the moment it turns to HTML, that gets stringified and everything gets processed by the processor and just convert it to string. So it kind of like generates, like in the end, it gives you markdown. Just took like markdown content that is now HTML and then I just converted it to string. So it kind of like generates, like in the end, it gives markdown. Nothing.
yeah. I see.
You understand? So it kind of like removes all the links, removes all the strong, because the bold text will now be strong, in HTML. The links will now be anchor tags in HTML and the plain text.
Yeah.
But then it's not working. So it's just some crazy stuff, and it should work, right? Because I kind of like I would assume that I just read this exactly on the Rehypes documentation. That's where I just read it on their NPM. But then this is just something I had to like add myself, right? But then it's not even getting past this junked at all. Now to talk about it getting to the place where it's going to get replaced and stuff. So it's just some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I get that. To be honest, I haven't
Okay.
tried that
But
before.
then this
So
is obviously a thing for yeah, no, that's all right. That's all right.
yeah, maybe we could like check that
So
in another time.
that's just like it.
Yeah, or maybe
Yeah,
like
exactly, exactly. And
I
hopefully,
I, I thought.
even if I fixed it, go on. I
Yeah,
can hear you.
yeah, I thought like maybe we could even like use regex because like you have some part of regex that you're using there. Maybe it's just like the regex that you might need to improve or something like that. But like I'm not sure about the situation there, to be honest, because I haven't done that before. I need to check that.
Yeah, it's the thing is, it's not even getting to the rejects.
Yeah,
It's not even getting to the rejects yet. Because you look, if you see, I'm kind of like always console log should get to. That's the thing. It's not getting to the rejects yet. It's just the
okay.
work because I've done with the rejects thingy somewhere else. Yes, on that yeah. I've used rejects in within like front matter templates
Yeah,
to kind of like to populate real data into like a template for data that I want to use somewhere to create issues and stuff like that. So it's something I've used. But the thing, like I said, it's not even getting to the rejects list before it
yeah,
fails. And that's
yeah, I
mad.
get that. That's too much. Yeah,
Yeah.
that will take a lot of. I think that could take a lot of like another time to
Man.
check that. Yeah,
Exactly.
and
That's crazy.
how did you feel like about the live coding today?
Ah, like I said, it's if this is what live coding feels like, man. I just want to do this. I can't wait for the next time to do this because it feels great.
Oh,
I've very
okay,
good
that's
experience and I
awesome.
like it so much.
That's a
Yeah,
great.
I like it so much.
And like
Yeah.
it even like when Eddie just like joined, it was really super awesome because like I sent him a message today after
Yeah,
like when I sent you
yeah,
the
exactly.
message of like when shared the image with you, I told him that maybe you could join, and it was like he just maybe I will try, and he's here.
I mean, that was great. I mean, those are kind of things. Those are the reason why you should just like love open source. Everybody's just available to
Yeah,
geek out anytime, any day, provided there is that. It's just gonna happen, and that was great for what we're doing here, and it's great for open source generally. So
yeah, it's just like a community, and you build
I
friendships,
like
and
it.
you build like connection with people, which just like while you are enjoying your time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome.
God,
So
it's been 2 hours. Well, I'm
great.
pretty sure I done exactly at 2 hours. So I must have taken like 1 hour 30 minutes, and it
Yeah,
took that long. We enjoyed the session. Yeah, thank you for having me, Victor. I
thank
really appreciate this.
thank you for joining today. I really appreciate like you accepting this, and hopefully we'll see you in the future, like live coding together. And I'm looking forward to hear about your
Yeah,
story and how you are developing in your open source as well. So thank you for everything, and thank you everyone who watched us today. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow in another live stream with Hadith Tech, and we will have hopefully everybody another better time. Thank you everyone.
yeah. Thank you for having me once again, and I'm obviously looking forward to the next time I
Thank you, me too.
come here because I came here to get some blockers. So like I had a problem. Here to go back with the solution. I came here looking for, and that was just boom for me. So why wouldn't
Yeah,
I come back next time? Come on,
yeah,
I look forward to
sure.
next time here. Thank
That
you
would be
very.
awesome. I would be happy to have you. Thank you.
All right. Wait.
Yeah,
Let me just take a picture. Okay, maybe we have the edit picture, but then that doesn't matter. Let me just take a picture of myself and you.
yeah,
This
sure.
is thank you for
Yeah,
great.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are welcome.
No mind, I've never done this before, and I just want to show you exactly as much as I can, because thank you very much.
You are welcome again. I hope that you enjoyed it and it was comfortable for you.
It was. Thank you very much. Bye.
Again, bye bye.